So it looks like Xbox is getting in on the metaverse. Now, if you don't know what the metaverse is, let's just talk about this story a little bit. I'll do my best to explain it to you. So thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when they go live. Now, real quick, if you're not clear what this is, the metaverse, I mean, basically, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg came out and said Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is coming to Oculus Quest 2. And he talked about how Facebook is now called Meta, how they're trying to create something called the metaverse. This is all during Facebook Connect 2021. And here over on The Verge, it says, Mark Zuckerberg announced that Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is in development for Oculus Quest 2, the Oculus Quest 2 virtual reality headset. No other details like price, release date, or anything like that. But there was this big story about how they're going to be doing the metaverse, how Facebook is now just called Meta. And I don't really like any of it, if I'm being totally honest. I'm not a huge fan of it. But it looks like Microsoft is also getting in on the action. So Microsoft is planning 3D metaverse apps for Xbox and gaming, including Minecraft, Halo, and Flight Simulator, which are already metaverses. Anyway, let's just read this story really quick. So Microsoft just announced its Microsoft Teams metaverse for meetings and video calls, but the company also has plans for gaming and entertainment. When they were talking to Bloomberg, Satya Nadella said they're absolutely focused on gaming for the metaverse with Xbox. You can absolutely expect us to do things in gaming. If you like Halo as a game, it is a metaverse. Minecraft is a metaverse, and so is Flight Simulator. In some sense, they're 2D today, and the question is, can you now take that to a full 3D world? And we absolutely plan to do so. So here's my whole thing with the metaverse talk and why I'm not a super fan. I don't think 3D, like, it's cool if you want to play Beat Saber for half an hour or whatever. I still think it's cumbersome. You still have to put this big thing on your head. There's still a lot of people who deal with nausea. Taking old games and making them 3D, making them part of the metaverse, like with the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas situation, it's not particularly enticing to me. I don't really want to play those games in 3D. I'm not a big fan of the 3D experience. So I think the target audience for 3D and the people that they're going for, I think it's rather small. Like, maybe you're the biggest fan of 3D out there in the world, right? Maybe you and all your friends play 3D because you're you're in that metaverse, right? But I still think it's an incredibly small demographic. So for Facebook to bet so big on something like this, it's rather surprising. I have to imagine Nadella talking about the Microsoft franchises. He must be like letting Facebook try them or something. I just can't imagine what this would be like, how it's going to be successful, right? How big of a target audience do you need for this to work? So let's read a little bit more of this Verge story. They continue. We've been waiting to see what Microsoft will do for Minecraft to transform it into a metaverse for VR and AR headsets for years. They did that demonstration where they were trying to show off what they were doing there. There was a version of it for HoloLens. I don't even know what is going on with HoloLens anymore at this point. They talk about how ambitious, the Verge article talks about how ambitious of a project this would be. Like taking something like Microsoft Flight Simulator. Microsoft Flight Simulator, I could see because people go so crazy to build those rigs and everything to live in those worlds. And it's sort of a fun idea, but it's just not one that I could imagine them investing tons of money in to do it properly. The biggest hurdle for VR for most people is to put that stupid thing on your head. And they've tried glasses sized VR experience. I think it was Google Glass did that. The HoloLens was less cumbersome, but you still had to tie it on pretty tight. There's still the focal distance. I have to imagine optometrists and such have to get involved. So to hear that Microsoft's trying to get in on the action, honestly, not super stoked about it. And I don't see myself like jumping to play Microsoft games in the metaverse. And if you're curious, oh boy, check out this thing that Verge linked to. Here's their demonstration of how they're getting in on the metaverse with Teams, allowing you to do 3D avatars and immersive meetings. You know, all this just goes one step further to prove that we really are all in the matrix and none of this matters. I don't like this. I don't like the metaverse. Like, it feels so strange to me. And I don't feel like the technology is there yet. I think it's sort of fun. It's sort of silly to do like once, twice, you know, but after a while, it's sort of just loses its luster, so to speak, and you just want to be presented as yourself on camera, right? There was one other Xbox story. I didn't know if I was going to talk about it today, but pretty sour impression for me of the metaverse. If that's something that excites you, let me know. I think we all have this, oh man, wouldn't it be cool if we could put on a VR headset and we're just walking around in Halo and doing all these cool things? That sounds awesome, right? But in practical application, you're usually jumping around with teleportation in the game, or if you are walking, you get this sort of strange feeling. And I'm a person, like, I could play Beat Saber no problem when I actually hook up, you know, the VR headset that I happen to have. But when it comes to some of these other games, I get nauseous. I don't enjoy them. So even with all the improvements, even with like, what is it, the Valve Index that I never touch, it's not for me. It's not where it needs to be, and hopefully it gets there someday. The other story I wanted to talk about really quick was another one that I just Googled the Xbox news and it was all Verge. So Tom Warren was talking about that you can now use NVIDIA's GeForce Now to stream PC games onto your Xbox, basically, which is actually kind of cool. So basically, you open up your Edge. All right, well, sorry, Tom. Basically, you open up your Edge browser and you go to the website where you can play GeForce Now games. And this is something a lot of people have been telling me about. Here's Tom's tweet about it, and he goes right into playing a PC game. And you can actually plug in a keyboard and mouse to your Xbox Series X, at least. I've done that a few times, though I wasn't able to adjust the sensitivity on my keyboard and mouse. I don't know if he's using the controller there or what, but it's pretty interesting to say the least that we can use all of these streaming services because of the Edge browser and the power that it has. And Xbox is also going to be allowing cloud streaming in the near future. Hey, that's all the news that I really wanted to share with you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when they go live. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to become a member, memberships are turned on. Thank you so much to everybody who has decided to support this channel by being a member. I appreciate you. If you want to do that, you just click that join button right there at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to get out of here. It is very late. Yep, subscribe, hit that bell. Sometimes I forget to turn off the animation. Good night, everybody. I'll see you for the next one.